look at how much impact Michael Brooks had, and he was like the #1 trending story on Twitter, and in other countries as well, like Brazil and in Australia, he was trending. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that there was this universe of progressive voices, hosts who are amplifying it, and of course their viewers too. So I don't know. I mean, I think that might be a way to buffer and support each other, because there are very, very, very powerful and well-funded forces out there who want to take down TYT, who want to take down Nomiki Konst, who want to take down the Majority Report, who want to take down Kyle Kulinski, for lots of reasons. And I think it's important for us to all, and Crystal Ball, have each other's backs. So I would love, if I could add one addition, it's the solidarity that I know Michael had.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is kind of incredible, because to add some specificity to what you're saying, I totally agree wholeheartedly. You know, when Cenk was running for Congress, which was one of the most difficult periods I'm sure he's had to go through, but it was hard for me too, because, you know, I know Cenk on a much more personal level. Like, I've worked with him closely for 13 years. So I know who he is as a person, and I know his heart. And I know that he, you know, the biggest thing that I've ever criticized him for is that he's ridiculously forgiving and nice, and people take advantage of it, right? And so when he was running for Congress, unsurprisingly, all of these bad faith attacks happened. They brought up his old blogs again and what he had written, and, you know, they called him a misogynist. They claimed he was like all sorts of ridiculous things. I mean, some of them were so outlandish that I can't believe that anyone would buy it. You know, and so the attacks start that way. And then finally, all of a sudden, there's like this talk of this Twitter page pops up out of nowhere, right? And it's TYT Union, and no one had any idea what that was, or, you know, what's going on? Is this real? And one of the people following that TYT Union page was Nancy Pelosi, who very clearly despises Cenk, and was doing anything and everything possible to get to ensure that Christy Smith would beat him in the Democratic primary. So understandably, like, Cenk's going to be suspicious of that. Like, what is this, and why is Nancy Pelosi following it? And so he brought it up internally, and then it turned into like this ridiculous story about union busting, right? Now, let me be clear. And by the way, this particular union had endorsed Christy Smith. That was already on the record, who, by the way, voted in California against labor rights over and over again. So, like, of course, people who are in the know, who are paying attention, are going to be suspicious. And it turned into a union busting story. And now they're unionized, and we understood, like, by the way, I'm not even in management. I'm an executive producer, which is different from being in management on the business side of things. So I have no say in whether people get to unionize or not. And if the employees want to unionize, they should unionize. And that's what happened. They finally did. And if they're happy, awesome. But the problem that I had with the way that story played out, and how it was perceived by people in indie media, is that immediately, like, virtue signaling is real. It is real. And so immediately there were few people from indie journalism that I love and I have great respect for, who felt the need to condemn Cenk publicly, right? Because it's the brand play, you know? Oh, I got to make sure that my brand among my leftist audience is squeaky clean. So that means immediately, without asking any questions,
right,
without looking into the story, I'm going to go ahead and condemn Cenk as a union buster. And that really infuriated me, because, hey, how about hit him up? How about call me? How about ask a question or two?
Ask a question. That's right. That's it.
Right. Instead of like, really, you're going to believe the New York Times or CNN or whoever, like the same or media outlets that we're so critical of, you're going to trust them before you go ahead and ask someone you know personally a question or two before, you know, if you want to make a statement publicly, have at it. But like, that was the most painful part, right? And it was very isolating to go through that and see that happen. And that's why I want us to, and by the way, that's not to say that we're always going to agree with one another, right? I'm sure that there are going to be moments where we might disagree, but the difference between the way it's being handled now and the way that I envision that being handled in the future is that we open up discussions internally and we work those issues out, because we love each other and we see each other as allies and we want solidarity and we want to actually accomplish something in this country, right? You're not going to be doing that by only worrying about your brand as opposed to thinking about the bigger picture, which is, again, fighting the elite class.
Thank you for watching and listening to the Nomiki Show. Make sure to click like and subscribe on YouTube and share with everybody on social media. And of course, if you're not a patron already, please join us on patreon.com/The Nomiki Show for as low as $5 a month. That money makes a huge difference. We don't have the corporate money coming in. We're not cable news that's raking in the dough from advertisers right now as everybody's sitting at home and watching. It is really you guys who are keeping us together. So please consider being a patron. And for those of you who have already, we are incredibly grateful to you.